Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Longtime viewer El Gordo, the cool TO who takes the Jeweled Lotus from the Commander Legends box and trades it for another box for his nephew, is asked the question: Double Masters is going to be easy money for investors and well worth it for players. Yeah, I agree. The small print run that it said is been made for Double Masters means the price is just going to go up. It's going to go up quick. I mean, the cards in it are amazing. Imperial Seal, Mana Vault, Ren and 6, Extortionist, Mana Drain, Force of Negation, just unbelievable stuff packed into the set. And yeah, so for investors and players, it's going to be awesome. He goes on, who's going to shell out any real money for Crimson Vow or New Capenna when they could just buy Double Masters? And yeah, that's true. In the short term, right now, there's some great deals on like $78 draft boxes of Crimson Vow. New Capenna draft boxes are like 82. So yeah, there's great deals out there, but Double Masters is probably the better place to go chasing your money after something right now. Now, in a few months, once the realization of how small the print runs are comes to bear in the market, and after boxes start getting opened, after maybe a little more excitement, after more people become completely cognizant of the great cards that are in the set, and after more of those boxes are more or less locked into the diamond hands who plan to hold them for years, then yeah, the price of Double Masters 2022 is going to go way up. And then it may be that you could see more upside. You could imagine more potential future upside in a vastly underpriced box of New Capenna than you might in buying into Double Masters after it's already gone up, say, I don't know, 40 or 50%. So just keep that in mind, that while it is true today that New Capenna and Crimson Vow, while cheap, are probably not as good of buys as Double Masters 2022, that won't hold forever. So then he goes into, I guess, some actual questions. Will Double Masters affect the money being spent on the set after it? I remember that when Modern Horizons 2 came out, everyone kept buying that set instead of the next set of AFR and then Midnight Hunt. Yeah, I thought that was a really, really good analogy to point out. Last summer about this time, Modern Horizons 2 came out and knocked it out of the park. It's just a wonderful set and very well received, even at the higher price point. And, the draft boxes were only going for about $220 at release, and set boxes were about $240 at release and then crashed down right after that and then bounced right back. But compared to these draft boxes of Double Masters 2022, they're like 300 plus. It kind of changes the calculus a little bit. So after Modern Horizons 2 came out, AFR followed it, and nobody cared. Like at first, everybody was just like, why are we interested in this standard set AFR when we still can open Modern Horizons 2? And I remember a funny thing about that is that Rudy didn't even do any AFR box openings for months because he was still doing Modern Horizons 2 box openings because they were great. And so there was definitely an attitude of who cares about AFR because it's coming on the heels of Modern Horizons 2. So I think this is a really good thing to point out. I think there is one potential difference here. And again, it's that lower print run and the higher price. And so in total, the amount that can be opened and the number of people who can just afford to enjoy opening Double Masters 2022 again and again and again is going to be lower than it was for Modern Horizons 2. And that doesn't even mention the difference in macro environment this summer versus last summer. So you'll have the boxes of Double Masters 2022 dry up sooner and add to the pricing pressure that was already an issue because of the lower print run. So that's the kind of difference. And WotC is actually not going to release Dominaria United until, I believe, the first week of September. I want to say September 8th might be the release date that they're saying right now. And so we're going to mercifully get a little bit of time to recover for our wallets to heal. And we'll have maybe 2 months to absorb Double Masters 2022 into the market. But more importantly, for it to rise in price out of the realm where a lot of people feel comfortable buying a lot of it. And so I think when Dominaria United comes out in early September, we may not see it be as ignored as AFR was ignored because of the success of Modern Horizons 2. So it's a really good comparison. I think it'll just be slightly different. Not in terms of what happens, but in how hard it happens. And the second question he asks here, will other sets get cheaper as Double Masters 2022 dominates, or is the liquidation all beforehand to the set's release? At some point, card stores, they're struggling to get some capital back to get a little bit of margin against further economic slowdown. The fact is, these card stores have all these fixed expenses that they have to pay every month, regardless of whether they sell one booster pack or a million booster packs. And so it's really hard to say. I think we could see prices go a little lower, but I would not expect to see those $78 Crimson Vow draft boxes drop to $70. Because there's just a point where, as a card store, you're already losing $8, $10, $12 on every box to try to recover the other, say, $65 that you can. And so that becomes more and more and more lopsided as the price continues to go down. So I think there's definitely going to be some more opportunity for winners that have run up and are still above their wholesale costs to come down. And so one that we might look at for this would be Kamigawa Neon Dynasty collector boxes. We saw those peak somewhere, I believe, around 270, and now they've dropped all the way back down to about 210, 215 range. And those are from an era before the price increases, so the wholesale costs that most stores paid for those was around 175 or so. And you could definitely see some stores that are still holding on to original stock of those lower them more as the summer goes on, as things continue to be difficult, maybe as consumers close their wallets a little harder, as Double Masters 2022, because of the limited print run, doesn't turn out to be the cash cow that card stores really needed. And so the winners like that could retreat more. But I would not expect to see things like New Capenna draft boxes at 82 drop down to 75. Certainly things like Kamigawa Neon Dynasty set boxes that have finally gotten a good, healthy restock wave and are at, 110, 112, something like that today, you could probably see that come down a bit because there's still several dollars in there before the smallest card stores start losing money on those transactions. And so there's still a little bit of pricing margin in there for stores to lower prices. So that's what I would think about going forward after Double Masters 2022, later into this summer. Don't expect things that are already rock bottom price that most card stores are already losing money liquidating. Don't expect those things to go much lower. Look for the things that are still winners and are still priced healthily above distributor costs. Look for those to go lower. So let me know what you think. If you have any questions that expound on this, or if your opinions are different, let me know. I'd love to hear what your take on this is. And thanks for the question. I thought this was just a really good one, and I thought everyone kind of deserved an answer to this because I thought it would be interesting. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot.